be standing in a cow pasture right now, probably dodging some longhorns that were out here and some Herefords. It was really two farms, and this town had designated this as their village center. We were contacted by the developer and spent some initial planning trying to understand what his desires for the project were, and we quickly realized that they were more along the lines of a typical strip center. We weren't particularly interested in doing a project that was such a sort of typical segregation of uses, and took the site plan and actually overlaid the grid of downtown Fort Worth on the 130 acres that we're standing on, and showed to him how much development you could actually fit here if you thought of it in a different sort of way as a more integrated project. Our first meeting with the citizenry, we didn't tell them what we were going to design. We were more interested in hearing what they wanted. And that was pretty shocking because no developer had ever come into a community like this and actually asked them their opinion about something. They found that to be somewhat unusual. There was a great deal of fear that we were bringing urbanism to a somewhat bucolic suburban setting. And so that made people a little bit nervous. Having buildings so close to the sidewalk and parking garages and streets that you could park on were not things that you found in Southlake. They were things that you found in the city. And so anything that smacked of urban or city was a little bit scary for them. There's a great tradition in Texas. If you drive around the state of Texas, there's all these wonderful county seats that have a classic Texas town square. Typically, the model was you have a green space and you plunk the county courthouse right in the middle of the square. And you ring the square with commercial buildings. And you can go to Granbury, and you can go to Cleburne, and you can go to Waxahachie, and you can go to all these wonderful little Texas county seats and find that same model repeated over and over again. And every building in every town square is different. And they all are very detailed, humanly scaled buildings. The commercial buildings are all varied, but they all have similar characteristics in terms of their size and scale and proportion and use of material. And so we went around and we studied a lot of that. We looked at that precedent. Having space like this that feels that you can come out and use it and feel comfortable using it is just something that is not that common anymore. And so it's this little square and the scale of the buildings around it that really do create that front door, kind of the living room, if you will, for the community.